Hey everybody, just doing some lunchtime Virtua Fighter. I just put up the Jimmy Claymore's translation of Shiwa's countermeasures for Lei Fei, and so that's now up on VFDC. Eventually we'll probably put the subtitles in the video. I need to talk to Jimmy about that because it's his work. But yeah, everything's going well. Right now I'm just trying to get onto Twitch to do to fix the Virtua Fighter designation. But I hope everyone's doing well. This has been a wonderful post Evo couple weeks for me. I'm having a wonderful time. Virtua Fighter's been amazing. Princess, awesome to see you. Today my kids are off school, so they are having fun downstairs. I made lunch. I made brunch for them, and now I'm just kind of doing some VF before I take them to the dental appointments. So today I thought I would just have some fun, maybe play a little ranked, work on some countermeasures training thanks to Shiwa's videos. So right now there is a set my Twitch though. It's always fun. Twitch has got such a weird interface on everything. Like every device kind of acts on its own. So let's see. Alright. Hey Bunks Jackie, awesome to see you, man. So in the countermeasures training, we'll start with just very simple stuff with nothing serious here. I'm just going to point out the very beginning material, and then we're going to play online. So against Lei Fei, Shiwa starts with just saying that generally when you fight against Lei Fei, if you just guard, he's not going to do much damage to you. You know, his throw game kind of limited. What's implied is that the throws don't do much. He's not mixing up mid-lows on you. He's got mids, but he's not mixing in like scary lows against you. So if you just kind of stand there and guard, you're kind of not going to take much damage. Obviously, that's not how you're supposed to really play the matchup, but just understand. Say, furthermore, if you just hold the forward throw escape, you're cutting off a lot of damage. So just doing like this, right? He's not doing much damage against you. So that's kind of the first important point, right? So you can be calm and just kind of defend forward, throw, escape while guarding, and he's not going to do much to you. So it also says that the things that are dangerous when you don't know the matchup is low punching randomly can be very risky. You can get hit pretty bad. So if you start trying to low punch too much, while it can work, he can kind of mess you up. A good Lei Fei, right? Like I'm getting taking damage, right? And so you got to be careful about randomly doing this or randomly evading, just because he does have half circulars and full circulars. So that's the danger I run into, right? Is sometimes evading in situations I shouldn't. Now, if you know the situations to evade, it's very powerful against him. But as a beginner or as someone learning the matchup, you need to be careful where you put your evades. Because if you're not careful about him, he can get huge damage that way. Similarly, he's got a lot of low punch traps. A good non-AI Lei Fei is going to punish you for doing low punches randomly. The AI, by the way, is good about doing the TP mash. That is something people do, and that is something you need to train against, where you just build your block low punch and elbow reflex. But if you're not feeling it on the day, block low punch and low punch back is okay. But again, against Lei Fei, just hold guard and forward throw escape, and that will do a lot. You know, and against AI, you can use this as a way to practice your punish. You know. Now the hard part is you can't. There's a lot of times where he might be -10, but he's not. But he's in a stance. So if that happens, you can't throw him because you can't throw him out of his stances. You got to kind of know where he's. So that's very basic beginner stuff against Lei Fei. I'll cover more stuff as I get used to the material, but it is a lot of fun. Eventually, when you get stronger, knowing when to evade crouch dash is really strong against Lei Fei. But doing it at the wrong places is going to make you eat a lot of damage. But knowing the right place is going to give you a lot of opportunity to learn. So again, hold guard, because Lei Fei can't do much if you just stand and guard. Hold the forward throw escape if you don't know which throw he's going to go for. A lot of Lei Feis go for the neutral and then go for the forward. So, but I would actually, if you just hold the forward throw escape, you're cutting off a lot of damage. And so you're making life hard for him, and then he's just going to take the neutral because that's what he can take, not because that's his best throw. His best throw is forward. But that's why a lot of Lei Fei players will do back and neutral. So you start getting used to your move list. But if you look at how much damage I took, so I took quite a bit of damage just for going for a low attack there. So you need to know where is the appropriate place to use them. But not as crucial. More crucial is just don't do them randomly. Do them with like kind of knowing that it works in that situation, right? Whereas an elbow is probably your best friend against Lei Fei. Now, as a habit, you see me, if he blocks the elbow, and sometimes even when I hit, you'll see me crouch dash, right? That's a fuzzy guard. Yeah. And so it's just a good habit when you're using safe mids to learn how to fuzzy guard. A lot of safe mids, when blocked, you can just fuzzy guard after them anyway. Doesn't mean you should always do it, but you get a feel. A good part of feeling the rhythm of VF is feeling this, like, when you can do a fuzzy guard like that. Right? So I didn't get hit after the elbow was blocked. And if he went for a throw, I would have ducked it, and you see that against the AI too. The AI is a really good thing to practice fuzzy guards. And then you can turn it into like a, oh, I hit, that crouch dash becomes my uppercut. Right? And then now I can punish that because... And so I'm practicing doing forward throw escapes, guard forward throw escape, while doing some fuzzy guards in careful places, and I'm just using elbow. And this is teaching me a lot about the Lei Fei matchup, or like how to kind of flow in it. Now that's another thing that Shiwa Countermeasures also teaches you. One of the first things it teaches you is about this dance, right? Like let's change it to this. Now that thing's gonna hit you. Okay. Right. So this thing is going to do a lot of damage to you if you don't know how to stagger break. So if you want to train stagger break, you can defend the kicks. That kick is the hardest one. That's the one you want. That's your target. Getting good at blocking that kick. This punch sequence, you can take it and not worry. But if you can block this one, you're good. So the command inputs then is you want to be able to block the kick, right? What's going on? Whoops, that's right. Why not? Here we go. Right? Want to be able to block that. I failed on that. Trying to do it a little bit. That one you're going to get hit by. That's okay. As long as I can block that one, that's my goal, right? Right now I'm not doing so much. So that's my goal, right? And hard. This is a hard thing in VF, but I do personally like Stagger. I like the Stagger mechanic. It's a very unique flavor of Virtua Fighter that has. I know a lot of people hate it. So they feel so uncertain, they feel insecure. It wrests controls away from you as a player. But it is when you get used to it, I kind of like it because it's another part of Virtua Fighter keeping you awake. It's kind of the keys to breaking Stagger in a real match is actually the first key is just knowing when it's going to happen. And a lot of times in this game it happens on a counter hit, though with Lei Fei it can happen on that low kick whenever you see that stance. So when you see that stance, he makes you have to think about two things. The first thing is that you can't really punch him, because if he does that stance and does nothing else and you punch him, he's going to punch counter it automatically. So that's frustrating, right? The second thing is that, okay, when he gets into that stance, he can stagger you, and with the low kick, right? And if you stood there and just like block low, you're gonna eat the other stuff he can do in that stance. So the point of Shiwa's countermeasures is understanding that try to get good at breaking the stagger in that situation and accept that you can eat that low kick, because as long as you can break the stagger after that low kick, then you're in pretty good shape because he didn't do much damage to you. And then you can defend everything else he does in that stance. So that's how you take away his power, right? You take away his power by getting good at breaking the stagger here, right? And then understand that he's going to hit you with the punch rush, but your goal is to be able to stagger that kick. As long as you can break the stagger time to defend that, you're good. Keys about stagger though, as I told you before. Number one key for stagger is understanding when it's going to happen. In this case, when he goes into that stance, it's very possible it's going to happen if he goes for the low kick. 2, and for other characters, it's like when you fight Lao, that stagger happens when you attack out of frames. When you're attacking from a disadvantage, or when you're getting very greedy by using a very slow attack in a situation where his fast attack will win. In that case, Lao's going to hit you with the knee. So when that's more knowledgeable VF, but that's where if you really defy the frames when you fight against Lao, you have to accept that he could do a knee that would cause you to stagger, and you'll need to break the stagger. So it means that it's okay to do a bar, it's okay to fight out of frames. Just know that the risk is you're going to be in a stagger situation, so you should be training yourself for that possibility. That's because when you break stagger, notice that when you do this, when you have a stagger, that stick, it goes from green to red. So let's take a look at it. See how it goes from green to red? None of my inputs really matter while it's green. It matters when it's red. So it's like the opposite of a stop sign. It's like it's saying go when it goes red, right? See how, and it works better that way because when we mash, we're doing the most inputs when we start mashing. The longer we mash, usually we're slowing down a little. So if I actually wait, it just tends to work better. Even though doing it early doesn't really penalize you. The game doesn't penalize you for doing it early. But your tendency to slow down does. Yeah, I'm using the circle method now. And I still lost to that, see. But it's a lot easier if I wait. That one's gonna hit me no matter what, so that's okay. But it doesn't do much damage. Let's try left-right method. That's okay that I'm used to getting hit by that. Alright, and then now we train ourselves to... Ah, I'm so sad. Now only know we're gonna get hit by. That's so sad. So that is basic training on Lei Fei. That's just the first 1 minute of Shiwa's video. And again, we're going to say lesson number 1. If you stand and guard, no problem. Lesson 2, stand guard and hold forward throw escape. Lei Fei just doesn't do much damage to you at all. Yeah, so yeah, there is a theory that when you do the circle method, in general it's better, but it's harder. But the downside is that supposedly the diagonal inputs count for half as many inputs as the cardinal directions. Cardinal meaning left, right, up, down. And so that's why, in my experience, the 4-6-4-6 method works actually very well, because it just is doing a lot. But in Japanese arcade, players do the full circle method. So in Japanese arcade, a lot of players are doing the players do the full circle method. Like you'll see them do it. You'll see them do it like you'll see that they know exactly when that stagger's coming, and so they're just like ooh, like this, right? Yeah. But there is this theory that that when you do this circle method, the diagonals are counting for less. But that said, the circle method is proven. It works. It's just that it can be a bit harder, right? But this method, in a lot of situations, this method I've seen it just work in the same situations. But here we're having trouble. So, and like I said, we know we're gonna get hit by that one. So this was normal. And we saw that this works better. So right now, the evidence is suggesting that the circle method works better for me, actually. So the lesson then for stagger break is know your stagger situation. Just know when it's very likely to happen. Awareness is better than... Awareness is like the number 1 factor, and then the second factor is the technique, right? So, yeah. And with Lei Fei, we see when it happens, because that stance is already giving us a sign that that low kick is probably going to happen, and then we're just reacting to the low kick. But let's recap again. Number 1, just holding guard, he doesn't do much damage to you. Like, he really doesn't. This throw doesn't even do that much damage. But 2, guard throw escape forward. So make sure your throw escape is forward. If you can't read your opponent, if you don't know what throw Lei Fei is going to do, at the very least, you can deny him his strongest throw. But you'll notice most Lei Feis will do the neutral throw where he kicks you in the face. Where he steps on your knee and then kicks you in the face. That's a lot of Lei Fei players will use the neutral throw. But the reason is because they've given up on trying to do the combo throw against you. But in general, if you hold guard, throw escape forward, if you don't know what to do, this is very strong. Lesson 3 from Shiwa, well, I'm going out of order, but the lesson 3, randomly doing low punch without knowing what to do is very dangerous against Lei Fei, because he has ways of punishing you for this. Once he hits you, once he gets a hit on you, you're kind of screwed. If you don't know what you're doing. There are good places to low punch, but at the same time, there's a lot of bad places to low punch. Lesson 3, randomly evading. Evading without knowing when and where to do it is very dangerous against him. That's when he starts doing damage against you. Right? Like, I can do the ECD, but because I'm starting to feel where I can do it. But if you just do it randomly, there's a good chance he's going to do a lot of damage against you in a real match. So you kind of don't want to know exactly where you should be doing that. But Shiwa does say that when Lei Fei does a move that puts you at -4 or +4 for him, ECD is actually very strong. ECD is evade, crouch, dash, right? This is ECD. And so, like, if you actually start learning the situations where, like if he hits you with the low punch, then it's good to do ECD. This is a funny glitch of the AI, is that stance, it will always get stuck when it does that stance. So, most common situation to be -4 is when somebody hits you normal hit with a low punch. Now, that said, I'm not expecting you to react to being hit by a low punch. This is something that just you build as you get stronger, as you get more experience with the game. But that's just a common situation where you're -4. But Lei Fei has a lot of situations that will be +4. And so ECD becomes a strong tool at the higher level. You don't have to focus on that right now. That's up to your skill level. But Shiwa says that basically at -4 this is very good. When you are -4. But doing it randomly is dangerous because of all the circular attacks of Lei Fei. Another time I will go into more details about the other points of the countermeasures, but that alone is enough for a session. Even though that video is only 7 minutes long, it's so jam-packed with good information. Helps you understand why Shiwa is the master of defense. Helps you understand why he's like at the moment the #2 player in the world. Not just because Evo, but because in the Challenge Cups it's kind of like that. Hey boy, good to see you. So yeah, so again, stand guard, don't have to worry. Okay, awesome. Paul has invited me to fight, so I will. Alright, we're gonna fight against Paul68kdmd against his Akira. Always wonderful training against Paul. Things to look out for when fighting Paul. Is he evading based on front and back, or is he evading based on down? That's probably the #1 thing to understand when you fight against Paul. Because we all want Paul to evade better. We all want him to start evading based on back and front. Against Leon, he should be evading to the back. That's hard to do because Leon changes stances every other attack he does. So it's hard to keep track of Leon's stance, but you should try to. You should train your mind to be watching for the stance. Hey Paul, good to see you. So I am telling everybody to watch for you when you evade to the down direction because you should be evading based on front and back. We want to make you better. So yeah. Okay. Paul also does read chat and he will prioritize that. So. Also, right now in the current Akira meta in America, the players are fighting in a way where evading to the back is pretty good. However, if you fight in Japan, the Japanese will make you afraid of evading to the back because they will do stuff that will destroy you for doing that because their threat is actually the stuff that you're supposed to evade to the front. And that's stuff like 4-6 all 3. Right? 4-6 all 3 is really powerful. And the Japanese will use it a lot. And I'm glad that I reacted by doing a fuzzy guard there. Even though that's not workable there. So right now, what I have to do against a lot of the Akira players in America is I actually have to kind of use, a lot of them have been using delays against me. So using something like backdash evade is pretty good. But they can eventually punish me for doing that. So now they need to work on punishing that. And that's because if they're using delays, dash into evade is a useful tool, and backdash into evade especially. But it's very risky too, right? That's where eventually something like 4-6 all 3 or half circular, like Akira has mid-range half circulars, 4-6P plus K, stuff like that. In America right now, they're using 4-6P plus K a lot, but later on we're training them. And they're going to start using 4-6 all 3 in more situations. I think that's when their Akiras will even go stronger than they already are right now. So right now, Paul is not evading much. He's playing very linear, and that's good. That's a good thing. Very nice. Playing linear is very good though too, and playing patient, very, very frustrating. This is why Japanese play very patient. So, one thing for Paul to sharpen up on is also that, what is that? His stray hits. Paul's level of improvisation against stray hits is not as optimal yet, but it's been getting better and better. So what do I mean by stray hits? Like, Paul is very good about set plays for Okizeme, but when the attack is a little off, that's what messes Paul up, because he's used to the fixed timing Okizeme, and so when there's a stray hit, hitting awkward positions, hitting off the ground, that's what I would call a stray hit when it comes to Oki. It means like the timing's going to be changed. And so, as Paul gets better at improvising on those, like, it's going to get more and more scary. His Oki will get scarier. Right now, the reason I'm very aggressive when I wake up in general against a lot of players is because of that. Because I know a lot of stray hits are going to mess people's timing up. Also, against Paul, what I now know is like, so we're going to calibrate his jab flowchart to use more of the attack options, because he likes to use the guard break against me, because he knows that like my typical reaction has been to do a defensive thing there, but because I know he likes to use the guard break, I'm kind of scared to now. And so that's why I've been aggressive when I see I get myself jabbed by him. And so that might, if I'm defensive, it might be backdash evade, but that was really good. And that is the 4-6 P plus K. The reason Akira players in America like to use it, if they knock you down with that, there's a powerful Okizeme, which is to do to do the max charge 4-6 P plus K. Good. Yeah.
Round 4. Ready, go!
We're just waking Paul up right now. Taking my kids to the dentist though. Paul's bringing it to me right now. All right. So right now I've just talked about the Paul countermeasures, but Paul is a fearsome beast, so he's very scary when he gets used to this. Like totally wrecks me. Like what? But right now I'm giving him a lot to think about. They're just doing checkup, but right now, actually I do want to ask you your opinion about it in the future. Right now is a time for my kids to where their adult teeth are coming in, and my wife and I are very conservative about this because a lot of dentists lately, this generation, will advocate some kind of treatment at this point. And we're kind of conservative. We're like, shouldn't we wait for the adult teeth to come in before doing anything like retainers or braces? Because they're making a lot of recommendations nowadays before that's happening, right? And so it makes, so I kind of wonder about it. Very nice. So for me, my wife and I would rather wait because we're like, you know, that's just more the intuitive idea of about it. But I think nowadays there's a lot more options for treatment than maybe when I was younger. So one of the things that kind of is good to know at this level of play that Paul and I are fighting at is that the jab is a powerful tool and it's an intermediary step, but there is a downside to the jab at higher level play. And that is that even though the jab is what teaches us how to set up throw, how to set up mix-ups, it teaches us all the most important frame data situations in Virtua Fighter, there is a weakness to the jab. And the weakness of the jab is that on normal hit, you can always fuzzy guard it. And when you as a player get comfortable taking jabs and setting up fuzzy guard or changing the flow, the guessing game spots based on taking the jab, it gets scarier. This is why, yeah, so jabs are still super important, but they're also opportunities sometimes because they're an intermediate step. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. So, like, being comfortable getting hit by a jab is a huge power up. Like getting yourself to be very calm when you're taking a jab in this game becomes very powerful. It is important to understand to use the jab really well though. Like it's important to set up a lot of offense with it. But again, now Paul and I are at this level where learning how to take it and use it is really scary, especially fuzzy guard attack. When somebody jabs you and you do fuzzy guard attack on reaction, it's very scary. It's very powerful. Like it's really hard for them. And fuzzy guard attack is fuzzy guarding and do a fast attack. And if you do it fast enough, then especially against Akira, it's really, really powerful. Because he doesn't use slow attacks as much, he doesn't string as much as other characters, and so fuzzy guard attack is a very good option against Akira, because it'll force him to manually slow himself down. That was beautiful. See, now he's like, okay, I'm gonna low reversal. That was perfect. Awesome read, awesome play. But yeah, getting yourself comfortable getting hit is really scary strong in Virtua Fighter. Being like, okay, I'll take the hit and use it, you know, because jabs and low jabs are very low damage, right? Themselves. It's what comes after them that's scary. Perfect. That was beautiful. That was the perfect counter too.
Round two. Ready, go!
good. Beautiful.
Round 4. Ready, go! Excellent! Round 5. Ready, go! See? I thought I'm better.
Very good games. Very, very good games.
Round 1. Ready, go!
Very nice.
Knockout.
Very nice.
Round 2. Ready, go!
Beautiful. See, he's using throws really good now. Now I can't sidestep.
Round 3.
Very good.
Ready, go!
Good game. Very good game. I was gonna say throwing is gonna be key because you want to make it so that I can't cut off your flow chart, and your flow chart gets cut off a lot by evade. But you got to target where the throws are, and he targeted them perfectly in that game.
Round 1. Ready, go!
Good. That throw was really vital, like actually. That throw was really important.
Knockout. Round 2. Ready, go!
That sequence right there, so it's important to understand the value of that sequence. He does a mid and then he does a throw. So he's like, and it sounds silly, but what it's doing is it's making a typical pattern of mine really risky to do. This is the power of low punch also, is cutting off a certain avenues of the flow chart with low punch twice. Oh, that wasn't cool if that worked, but that's it. Excellent, excellent round.
Round 5.
This is an awesome set. Miss an option, lose. Mess it up. Alright.
Round one. Ready, go! Knockout. Round two. Ready, go!
I input too early. And it costs nothing to come out, so that's what happens if you input too early. Oh, so good.
Knockout. Round four. Ready, go!
My time is here!
Knockout.
Awesome set, Paul. Awesome set. It's a good noon set, right? Good afternoon set.
Forgot to train.
That was a really, really nice one. Awesome adaptation at the end. Really good, like, it's so scary. I'm trying so hard to avoid running into your guard break setups. Your Okizeme is really scary when that guard break's going off. The side turn, really, really terrifying. So, I've been lucky whenever I've been able to get out of that. So yeah, thank you so much, Nelly. It's so good to see you. Hope you've been doing really well. Really miss you, Nelly.
Ready, go!
Man, that thing is nasty.
Knockout.
That was an awesome round.
Round two. Ready, go!
Man, Akira is really annoying. Like, trying to do that combo is annoying.
Knockout.
See? Now he's taking the low punch and using it.
Round three. Ready, go!
Excellent first game. Alright, let's see if I can figure this out. Now we've woken up Paul. So.
Round one. Ready, go!
I hate that. Use the fast option. Don't let me use the kick.
Round 2. Ready, go!
Good. There is no safe spacing against Akira.
Ready, go!
Good. Good. That was so good. Perfect. Good. Really good responses. Really good using ducking on the forced side turn situation. Something I need to do when Lei Fei hits me with stance kick guard. So.
Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go!
Nice. Duck into shoulder is so powerful against jab.
Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout!
That's excellent.
Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout!
That was beautiful. Good game.
Ready, go! Excellent! Round 3. Ready, go! Excellent! Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout!
See? I thought I'm better.
Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 4. Ready, go!
Good game.
Knockout!
Good game. That was so much fun. It's a really good set. That was very, very good games. Charge my phone. And this will be the last set because then I gotta get my kids ready for dental. And I'm looking forward to Paul's opinion. So.
Ready, go! Knockout! Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout.
So I think our connection is losing stability. Some stuff that's missing for both of us.
I want a serious fight.
Like I couldn't convert. Like some things were impossible to convert. Like that normally work, but they came out later. So that's okay, because we're having really intense battles, and it's a lot of about decisions too. So decisions are great.
Round 1. Ready, go!
Man, I hate that.
Knockout. Round 2. Ready, go! Knockout. Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout. Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout.
Forgot to train, eh?
Round 1. Ready, go!
I wish that would work.
Knockout. Round 2. Ready, go!
Good game. Good round.
Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout. Round 4. Ready, go!
So good.
Knockout.
He did a delayed throw against the fuzzy guard. It was really good. Actually, I think it was against an ECD, but it was like perfectly timed.
Round one. Ready, go!
Beat the fuzzy guard.
Knockout. Round two. Ready, go!
I'm doing things too late. Not because of lag. Like my brain is doing things late.
Ready, go!
I love that. Punish the ECD. Alright, let's both punish this.
Round one. Ready, go! Knockout. Round two. Ready, go! Ring out. Round three. Ready, go! Knockout.
See? I thought I'm better.
Yeah, meaty. So I delayed that one, I think, for Rising Attack, but it's normally that can be very meaty.
Round one. Ready, go!
Because I delayed it. Yeah, so sometimes I did a dash before doing it, so I believe I delayed it.
Ready, go!
Perfectly targeted throws.
Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout!
I thought I evaded that, but that's all good. Is it delay low punch?
Round 4.
Probably delay low punch.
Ready, go!
Man, that Oki's enemy is so nasty. Like, guard break on Oki is so strong because it makes you like have to defend or not. So good. Really good Oki.
Round 1. Ready, go!
Everything was outcast. That was so good. Every option was guessed. Was correctly read.
Ready, go!
I need to not do 2K Gamer's Jam giving him so much peak damage with it. It just looks like a counter hit. It's not. Yeah, there we go. Ah, that's so annoying. That's annoying too. Let's see. We have options for that though. For all of it.
Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go!
Tried to punch him. I tried to do a jump when I saw that happening.
Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 4. Ready, go!
has been an awesome set.
Forgot to train, eh?
There's the ping sound. It's the echo of the Victrix inside. So gamer finger makes that. This button happens to make that sound. So it's like,
Round one. Ready, go!
that was such an excellent round. Well played.
Ready, go! Knockout!
So hard to deal with that.
Round three. Ready, go! Knockout! Round four. Ready, go! Knockout! Round five. Ready, go! Knockout!
Good games. That was exciting. It was like very intense. A lot of staring down at the last two games. So
What a knucklehead.
that was an awesome battle, Paul. All day, all of it. Very exhausting, but that was really good. It was also the right stage for the last one too. So lots of intensity there. And when your reads are on, it's so terrifying, especially with Akira, right? Counter hit, super dashing elbow is the most frustrating thing to deal with. You know, it's like the most powerful elbow class attack in the whole game. Thank you. I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm really like sweating like hell. Not really, but inside, it's like it's like my heart's going off. So yeah. But the good thing is you're linear. When you're playing linear, it's a good mix-up so that your evade habit is not really an issue. And I can't even really focus on reading the evades because you're playing linear. And so you're mixing it up in a good way so that when you do finally have evades, like they become very effective. So that's something you've been doing for a while, for 6 months, and I like that because it's okay to have a blind spot or a quote-unquote weakness in this game, as long as you're managing the situations well, so that you can actually use it against your opponent. Right now, in this game, I didn't think about targeting your down evade because it was just hard to get a read on when you were actually evading. It's similar to when in my throw escape guide, when I say that it's just sometimes hard to read. I've lost track of what I'm saying, but generally the principle in the side turn and the evading is that your evade issue is not really an issue when you manage it and you have a powerful linear game to mix it up with. So it makes it very hard to read. And so in the throw escape guide, it's more about, sometimes you have, in the case of throws, when anyone's fighting an opponent, it can be hard to get a read on which throw they're going to do, but the fact is you just actually need to identify when they throw and when they don't throw, or whether it's a factor or not. And so, and at the end of the day, attacks beat all throws, right? So because of that, sometimes instead of focusing on what throw they do or which way they evade, you focus on whether they actually evade or whether they actually throw, and you target the throw itself. So your Akira is better and better at that. Someone might read that you like to do a down evade, but it doesn't really matter if they can't figure out when you're actually going to start evading. And early in the first set, my sidestepping was the thing that was exploiting your Akira. And you, by the second set and the third set, you got much better at using throws to completely cut it off. And to the point where it just feels like you've got me completely red, right? You're like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And then you also got the sequences down. So you were punishing me on the level of attack versus throw or attack versus defend. And you were throwing me at the right times to make it so I felt like I couldn't even defend. So it's really powerful and makes it really intimidating. It's hard to, like, that Akira Okizemi with guard break is really terrifying. If you can get your opponent to not rising attack, then suddenly the guard break is such a terrifying thing to deal with when waking up if I'm not going to rising attack. So yeah. What I can do is raise the guard. What I can do is raise the game volume, and what that does is get people used to hearing my voice more. I don't know. But yeah. Normally it's like this, but it causes echo, so I'll set it to 35 on my monitor. But yeah, the mic tends to be lower. I can change the mic setting. Let me see. Yeah. So I do need to learn. That's what I'm working on, is setting up a guard break Oki as well. But the problem with the guard break Oki for Leon is that stance is so telegraphed that I have to get you in a defensive position first, and if I don't, if you're comfortable, just like I'm getting comfortable with dealing with high jab and low jab, if you get comfortable dealing with stance, like, it's really hard to mix up the stance. But on Oki it's powerful because of the mix up between guard break and punch. The punch option gives me a free small combo if you're crouching, and if you get counter hit, even better. But the Oki is not supposed to counter hit. So it's really about getting you stuck between guarding high and guarding low. Yeah. And so I need to, that's a very powerful Oki. So I'm working on it. I don't have the timing on it quite yet, but it's getting there. And so it's similar. Both you and I are starting to work on guard breaks in our Okizemi. Well, it's yeah, the whole point of Leon using forward all three is I have to get you completely fixated on other aggression first, and so that it's just not in your mind, because a lot of the strong players, they're always looking for that stance. So it's about really conditioning the opponent a lot so that they're not thinking about it anymore, and then that stance comes out. That's the secret to that stance, because I can tell you, when I first tried to use that stance in the Final Showdown, everybody would just mash whenever they saw that stance. And so it was a lot of experience of how do I keep applying pressure, and then when is the opponent ripe for letting me use this stupid stance, because the stance is so slow. And that's a big part of it. It's why I think the other Leon players in America, they use it well, but they also struggle to use this stance, because it's about setting up your opponent for it, or not setting him up, but just recognizing when it's going to work. You know. But Okizeme is one of those situations where it's gonna work. So yeah. Today you did defend once the forward stance KK into getting hit by that, and then I did PKP. You did duck it and punish correctly once, so keep that up. I have to do that too. I need to start recognizing Akira's side turn stuff because it's so scary. That is interesting to use it, but so I'm still working on using offensive move. I'm still not comfortable with it because, like, against you, Rental, when he fights you, he's able to get you stalled. He's able to get you to slow down. I'm not quite there. You and I go into a battle of aggression. So you and I try to hit each other pretty, like, you and I try to slug it out. And when we're slugging it out, like, offensive move is really hard to use. Right? But Rental's been good about stopping you with some pokes and getting you to slow down. And I need to get better at doing that against you if I want to use offensive move. Yeah. But you and I like to go testosterone and slug it out. So, you know, partly because that's what I enjoy doing, even against Akira, where that's really dangerous to do against Akira. But it's just so much fun. And it's also because that's my process for learning. My process for learning is to go really head in and try to find a way to figure out those situations. But so that's why I thrive on doing that. Yeah. But I haven't fought Agod recently, but good to see you, Agod. But with Agod.io, their approach is more like the Rental. When I used to play them, their approach is more like Rental Animator's approach. But I also think that's why Rental feels that I'm sharper, is because I throw myself into those situations like crazy, to where I try to start getting comfortable answers. And today against your Akira was one of the more comfortable days, at least in the first set, where I felt comfortable challenging each option like in your face and going, I think I can fight Akira up close, even if that's the dangerous path. But it's more like I just want to get comfortable dealing with this. But it's also because I think it's good against Akira to get good at that. Not because that's how I should play in the long run, but because actually, if you take normal hits from Akira, as long as they're not knocked down in combo, but this is scary, you take the jabs, the low jab, the dashing elbow. If you can get Akira to play the dashing elbow game, then like you get to fuzzy guard whenever he hits you normal hit with that. So it's like, so I tried to get, in the first set, I was like, I'm going to fuzzy guard or similar or ECD or evade throw skip guard when he hits me with like a jab or dashing elbow. And it's not that I'm always trying to get hit by the jab, but I'm trying to get more comfortable with the idea that when I get hit, this is what I need to do. Yet I still struggle to do fuzzy guard after PK, so that's the funny part. It's like, in the first set, I'm actually doing some fuzzy guard when you jab or dashing elbow me, but when you PK me, which is a more predictable situation, I'm too slow to fuzzy guard that situation, so I just ended up, and you locked onto it because I was doing like evade throw escape, I was doing like evade cancels, and so you started throwing me after PK, you know, it's really good. But yeah, you and I love doing the close-up battle. You and I actually like figuring out stuff by going by over and over with sequences up close. So that's why you and I have our fun battles, but our battles swing like crazy. You know? So it was so much fun. I'm gonna let you send me that DM. I'm gonna go get my kids ready for dentist. And thank you all so much. Everybody's been fantastic, always for my streams, but especially after Evo, it's been feeling extra special. And so, and I do think I came back playing stronger, actually. I didn't even play that much in Japan, but I think I came back stronger. And I feel like everybody else is strong too, but it's just like, I think everyone's amped up. I guess we all got amped up by Evo. So, I know that the online conversation wants to talk about the announcement. I never expected an announcement. I'm just happy. Look, I just love this game, so this game is enough for the rest of my life, if I'm being honest. But hopefully there's a new game. But I don't expect an announcement actually until sometime after Tekken 8's release. I'm not saying right away. I'm just saying before Tekken 8's release, not really a big deal to do. It's one of those, like, there's just not that much hype. It's better to hype the game. A Virtua Fighter or a new 3D fighter is better to hype after Tekken 8 has already been purchased and people are ready for the next thing. And there's always going to be those guys that Tekken 8 didn't work out for them, so they're ready for the next 3D fighter. But also for a mass audience, they don't really care about Evo, but we care about Evo. I care about Evo a lot. And so Evo is a big deal for me. Evo Japan is a big deal, even if they had to deal with a lot of challenges. But I can tell you, at Evo Japan, all of us Virtua Fighter players were happy. We were, I mean, even when the AC's not working, we just assumed it was because it's Japan, and everywhere in Japan likes to have humidity up. Like, it's really weird. A lot of places like to have some level of humidity and some warmness. So I thought it was just normal. I didn't think the AC was broken in there. I was just like, this just feels like it's Japan. You know, like, they have an AC system, but they don't want to kill the humidity. They want more of it, so whatever. You know? And but everyone was saying, like, it looked like the Virtua Fighter players were having the most fun at Evo. So, you know, and I think we were. And I think we had such an amazing top 8. And even before the top 8, we had amazing day 2 battles. Those were just nuts. Yeah. So T Takaga, I'm down for just this for a while if they improve some stuff. Yeah. I mean, me too. Takaga, I will say, everybody that played Final Showdown that is playing Ultimate Showdown or esports right now, they missed the costumes, because Final Showdown just gave you all the costumes. And anyone who's played Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution or Virtua Fighter 5 Vanilla really misses the quest mode. That quest mode really gets you playing VF, even if you're not in the mood to play online. It's just such an amazing single player mode. You just get to play more and more VF, and it has a good variety in it. It has lots of different goals, and you unlock costume parts. It's way better than treasure mode in Tekken. That's what a future VF game needs to have, a mode like that, and but even if it's online integrated, it needs to have a mode like that, because that's actually, I mean, more or less, that's like the best mobile game before mobile games existed, before smartphones existed. So Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution's quest mode was just so god tier. Like, that's more fun than any single player mode in a fighting game I've ever played. It doesn't need story. It just needed that, you know? Yeah, so this game, they did intend to release. I've given up on them releasing a full costume pack because of how much work that costs. Like, that's a lot of time for an artist to do, especially because they did the hard route, where even if they copy pasted the code, the assets had to be recreated in the new Dragon engine. So that's why the costumes actually cost a lot for them to do. But in Final Showdown, you had so much costume stuff. But I think I just given up on the idea that this game is going to have all the costumes. But people love it. The costumes are great. More than any, like, it's like one of the best, you know, compared to all the fighting games. The costume selection you had in Final Showdown was a lot and was awesome. But just like Quest Mode had one of the best single player modes of any fighting game, but Sega didn't do that for Final Showdown, because Final Showdown was released as an online only title that would be sold at a small price, and that would be fit the requirements for Xbox Live. So yeah. Alright, everyone, thank you very much again. I don't want my daughter to be late for her appointment, or my son. But let's see who we can raid. We are seeing more people playing Ultimate Showdown lately. Some people streaming it, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you. And I'll see you in a few, and I can't wait for more battles. Thank you for being a strong part of the new generation of VF players. I told the Japanese about the new generation. I said that we have a new generation in America, and it's so exciting. Agod's on. We're going to raid Agod. Agod has gotten stronger and stronger. They play different characters, but their Vanessa is a real threat. I believe they come from the Dead or Alive world, and but the way they play VF is really great. Keep it up, support them, cheer them on, and thank you all so much.